Hey everyone, welcome to Low Level D&D Builds. This series will show you how to make some of your favorite characters at a lower level, making it easier for you to hop into the fun. I know there are an abundance of build guides online, but my goal here is to stick around the lower levels of D&D, so anyone just starting or interested can build a character based off of something they enjoy. To kick off the series, we will be building a 5th level Jedi today. As I hope to do more of these in the future, all of the source material I will use will be officially from Wizards of the Coast, but styling and flavor should always be discussed with your DM. So without further ado, let's begin. As an overview to the Jedi we are making today, we are going to be using 3 levels from the new fighter subclass from Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, the Psy Warrior. Along with this, we will be using 2 levels from the Archfey Patron Warlock from the 5th edition Player's Handbook. To begin your journey as a Jedi Knight, the Psy Warrior is the perfect place to get started. Right off the bat, you are going to get experience with hands-on fighting and progressively will develop more Jedi abilities with your training. Because Jedi are an agile, melee-focused archetype, you will want to have Dexterity as one of your higher ability scores, followed by Charisma for your soon-to-come Force abilities. These are the main 2 scores that I will say should be at the top of your list, as they dictate how some of your abilities will play out. The rest are up to you and the type of Jedi that you wish to build. Following your ability scores, you are going to have to choose a fighting style to go along with your fighter levels. There are actually a handful of different styles you can choose from, all having their own unique purpose. Dueling: when you are wielding a melee weapon in one hand and no other weapons, you gain a +2 bonus to damage rolls with that weapon. Defense: while you are wearing armor, you gain a +1 bonus to AC. 2-weapon fighting: when you engage in 2-weapon fighting, you can add your ability modifier to the damage of the second attack. Superior Technique: you can learn 1 maneuver of your choice from among those available to the Battlemaster archetype. And Interception: when a creature you can see hits a target other than you within 5 feet of you with an attack, you can use a reaction to reduce the damage the target takes. No matter which style you choose, you will want to use short swords or rapiers to go along with the theme. Once you have determined how you would like to fight, you can spend the next 2 levels and prepare to be the Jedi you always dreamed of at level 3. As a level 3 fighter, you will be given the option to pick a martial archetype, which further cements the type of fighter you will become. Here we will be using the Psy Warrior, which is printed in Tasha's Cauldron. The reason I have chosen this archetype is because the abilities you receive at level 3 solidify your abilities to manipulate the environment around you via the Force, and has the intent of a mindful fighter who has abilities similar to those of a Jedi. Here are some of the abilities that you receive once you reach 3rd level in this martial archetype. Protective Field, which allows you to create a shield of telekinetic force. Psionic Strike, which allows you to add extra force damage to your attacks. And finally, the most important one of them all, Telekinetic Movement, which allows you to move an object or a creature with your mind. Because of this discipline and powerful skill set, it is the ideal foundation to get our Jedi started. Now, after we have spent 3 levels in Fighter, we are going to move on over to our 2 levels in Warlock. The main reason we will be taking the Archfey Patron and Warlock is so we can begin to utilize our Force abilities much more in a way that is fairly similar to those of a Jedi Knight. The Archfey has many abilities that directly influence how others feel or act, and it definitely has a place in our build as it adds Fey Presence, allowing you to charm or frighten any other creatures, and Sleep, which literally allows you to put people to sleep. As a level 1 Archfey Warlock, we are immediately given 2 cantrips and 2 spells known at the 1st level. The 2 cantrips you will definitely want to take are Mage Hand and Eldritch Blast. Mage Hand will be the very obvious Force ability that you can use to move and grab links as you please. This pairs very well with the Psy Warrior, as it can be used much more frequently than your Telekinetic Movement ability, which is mainly focused on larger items, and Mage Hand will only cost you an action to do so with no cooldown or spell slots to pay. Along with this, Eldritch Blast is also a must, not only because you are a Warlock, but because some of the invocations we will be taking at level 2 will allow you to actually begin using the Force a bit more combatively in a way that pairs well with your fighter. Now the spells are slightly more lenient, but I've compiled a small list of those that you might consider if you're going the dedicated route of a Jedi. The 5 spells I suggest are Sleep, Charm Person, Expeditious Retreat, Protection from Evil and Good, and Unseen Servant. To make things easier, I would categorize these 5 spells into 3 different buckets. The first 2, Sleep and Charm Person, being more in line with a Jedi mind trick. The second one, Expeditious Retreat, being relatable to Jedi agility or dexterity. And the final 2, Protection from Evil and Good and Unseen Servant, could be general Force related abilities. All 5 of these spells have their own significant value, but it really just depends on what you want to do. By the time you reach level 2, you will have a total of 3 level 1 spells that you know. These I think are all equally as good for different reasons. As we finally reach the end of our build with the 2nd level on Warlock, we can start to see the Jedi we have seen in the movies and TV shows as our own. Starting with the easy part of level 2, you get to pick one more spell from the Warlock spell list I mentioned before, and you get an extra spell slot allowing you to cost an extra time. Along with this, you now get to learn 2 invocations to improve your Eldritch Blast. While there are a number of invocations to pick from, the 3 I suggest would be Lance of Lethargy. Once on each of your turns when you hit a creature with your Eldritch Blast, you can reduce that creature's speed by 10 feet until the end of your next turn. Repelling Blast. When you hit a creature with Eldritch Blast, you can push the creature up to 10 feet away from you in a straight line. And finally, Grasp of Fadar. Once on each of your turns when you hit a creature with your Eldritch Blast, you can move that creature in a straight line 10 feet closer to you. Obviously there are some choices to be made here, but it all depends on the type of Jedi you envision yourself playing. My hope is that by trying this build out and working with your DM, you can create a really enjoyable character for yourself and make your story a fun one. Some things I did not go over earlier are skills and backgrounds. These 2 are entirely up to you. I feel as though they can also determine the type of Jedi you are creating. But if you were looking for a default answer because you really aren't sure, you can never go wrong with physical skills such as acrobatics and athletics, and your background can be one focused around you as an acolyte, folk hero, or a sage. In any case, I really hope you enjoyed the video. I would like to make more of these in the future, so all feedback is greatly appreciated. If you liked the video, please make sure to hit the like button before you leave and maybe consider subscribing. Make sure to share your ideas for new character builds in the comments below so I know what you want to see. And finally, may the Force be with you.